Hi there, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk to you again and again on our theme of loving us, being awesome parents and being able to create awesome kids. Today I wanted to talk with you about how do you create a good, healthy self-esteem in your children, coming from, sort of from babyhood up into teens. Because self-esteem is your is your child's overall emotional belief about their worth. Basically, the opinion of themselves and their abilities. And if they don't have a healthy self-esteem, it can leave them feeling insecure and unmotivated to achieve anything because I'm not worth anything. So where do we get these self-esteems? Why do kids who are usually being brought up in good homes have such a low opinion about themselves? And I think that you as parents, or we as parents, can help that process, because beliefs and values about who we are, how we think about ourselves, and finally our identity that we come to some conclusion starts off in our home. It starts off in the environment, where the space that we sort of sit. So it's your environment about the people that's in your home, the kids at school, and if they've had trauma at home, or even if they've had a good home, kids get certain perceptions about who they are, what their place is in the world, and which will then give them a healthy outlook or a unhealthy outlook for their lives as adults. So I call that, if we don't help our children to have a healthy view of themselves, then they end up building a wonky house, and themselves as a house. And when they're wonky house, they then spend the rest of their adult lives trying to fix this wonky house. So wouldn't it be great as parents to be able to say, no, we would like to teach our kids to have an amazing house where they can be comfortable with people looking in and themselves looking out in the world, and to see the world as not a place to fear, but as a place of sort of fun and excitement and secure. So how do we develop that? How do we develop that sort of that sense of self or self-esteem in our kids? So we do this in how we interact with their kids as they're growing up. So here's some things that you just may think about and reflect on your own parenting. So are you demanding too much from them? Are you expecting them to, be the perfect athlete, get the perfect score, criticize them when they get a B instead of an A, putting your expectations of what you would like them to be onto them and expecting them to live up to your expectations? Do you criticize them for their efforts? Like if they've done their best or tried to do their best, then and then we criticize them for that, then they then get that feeling of, I've done my best and it's still not good enough. So they start getting into these self inner critical voice sort of saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth anything. And that starts to erode on their sense of self and their self-esteem. So do you also require them to adhere to your strict rules? Have you told them the reason why you have the rules, why the rules are there, what's important, rather than saying to your kids, you do this because I said so. If you're saying I said so, you're not giving your kids a chance to learn on how to make good choices, make good decisions, and they're more likely to accept your rules if they know that there is a good, logical reason behind why they're there. Are you making all the decisions and choices for them? Or if you are doing that, are you not allowing them to accept the consequences of, poor choices, poor decisions, and you're bailing them out so they don't have to go through that? Or if in fact you've got rules but you're not setting consequences for their poor choice or their poor choices. So, because your whole life, every life of every person, each moment of each day, you are making choices. And in those choices, you have to accept the consequences of those choices and decisions. If you eat an ice cream, you're going to get fat all day and you're going to get tooth decay. And it's not healthy for you, but you can do that. So allowing our kids to be able to make choices and to help them accept the consequences. So that's my number one. My number one is, how to create in them a healthy, like a healthy level of self-esteem. So my number one would be teach them choices and consequences, let them fail, but be there as a support, not to do it for them, but a support to help them get up and learn from those choices and the consequences. The second thing to be able to help them with their self-esteem is to have a vision for them as adults. And I've talked about this before, but it's important to know what you are teaching, because your beliefs and values can go out the window. Your way of thinking and doing, they're their own person. They're their own unique, beautiful individual. But what your role is to help them to develop an amazing character, a character of trustworthiness, of, which includes honesty and integrity and respect, becoming a contributing, citizen, and how that works, and to care and love other people and so forth. When you do that and encourage that, then they go out into the world not as insecure and unmotivated, but amazing and awesome individuals who people will like, who people will love, and who people will want to hang out with them. And the third thing is to ask questions. Questions are going to be your best friend. So ask questions to help them reflect and challenge them to grow in all that they do and all that they think. So when you're questioning them, like, why are you doing that, and how is that affecting you? If you could change a choice or change a decision, what would you like to do instead? All these. So questioning indicates that you are listening to them, that you are hearing them, and you are getting them to think about the internal choices and decisions that they do have. And in doing that, you're able to, create in them a high level of self-esteem that will see them really well into their adulthood. So that's it from me. I hope you are liking. Look, listen, comment in the section below. If you think there is more than the 3, which, there probably is, write it in the comments section. Listen, I'd love to know. I'm doing these videos And I'd love to have your feedback in, is these videos helpful for you? Do they give you even just a moment to think about and reflect on what you're doing as a parent? So that's it for me. You take care and have an awesome day. Bye now.